Hi, Gina Timmons. Who's calling?
I'm calling you from the Happydale Mental Hospital.
What's the matter?
We need you to come in right away. I have the unfortunate duty of informing you that a terrible accident took place
Et comedisti deligno, et quo praecere eram tibi, ne comederes maledicta terra, in opere tuo in laboribus comedes eam cuntis diebus via tua.
And we will prove that last April 30th on Mile Island, Colonel Kortzmeyer was murdered by Brian Basco in cold blood. The defense will attempt to confuse you with trickery and lies.
Los germinavi tibi e comedes herbas terrae, in sudore vultus tui vesceris pane donas revertais, in terram de quo assuntus escuie pulvis, es et in pulverem revertere.
Order!
Tuo capitalam nominum.
For the last time, Mr. Basco, tell us what you remember.
I don't remember anything.
Oh, yes. Amnesia. If you think you'll get off by pretending to be insane, then you've really lost your mind.
I want order!
Ava eo quod mater essent, cunctorum viventium. Feci quo quedominus Deus Adam et uxorieis tunicas pelliquias et induiteos. Et aite que Adam factus es quasi unus et nobis sciens.
And given the doubts created by the defendant's mental health, he will be admitted into Happydale Psychiatric Hospital, where Dr. Bennett will determine whether his supposed insanity has any basis in reality. I'm postponing this trial until then.
No! I'm not crazy! Gina!
Brian?
It's me.
What's your game? You call me telling me I have to identify a headless body to say it's yours, and then you've vanished for 2 days?
Get me out of here.
I went to your bogus burial and... All right. Where are you?
Buried in my grave.
That can't be. How am I gonna get you out of there? This is insane. Get me out of this tomb, say nothing to anyone. Be careful, murderers waiting at exit. Battery low, come quick, banana. Banana? I don't know what went down in Hawaii, or what they did to you in that psychiatric ward. I don't know why you escaped, or why you faked your own death. I don't know how you got down there. I don't even know whether you're the Brian I know. All I want is for everything to go back to normal. That's all right, though. I won't ask for help, I won't call the cops, and I won't leave the cemetery. But I will get you out of there. You win, Brian. We'll play it your way. There are literally hundreds of them. There are literally hundreds of them. It came with a really cute purple ribbon, too. Brian, I swear if you come out of this alive, you're gonna have a lot of explaining to do. I don't know. Carrying that around would be a chore. But the ribbon alone... It'll be a great souvenir from Brian's phony funeral. It's sure an ugly thing, poor birdie. No, I have better people to chat with. Huh? What a weird machine. Wonder what that's for. A ladder here? Huh?
Hello, dear.
Hello?
Up here, on the roof.
Do I know you?
Well, of course not, dear. I'm Agatha Saffron von Rubenstein, PhD in parapsychology and poltergeistian phenomena from the University of Virginia, member of the North American Parapsychological Association, and also I'm a medium. 'Cause I like it.
Nice to meet you. I'm Gina Timmons.
It's amazing, my dear, how much pain is in your aura. Come inside. I'll help you stop your suffering. Hurry, I'll be right down.
Well, this is an interesting start. It's connected to the cable that comes down from the roof. What a bizarre contraption. I better not touch it, just in case. Edward M. Blake. Sounds familiar, but not sure why. Atlas Under the Weight of the World, donated by Angelos Louisopoulos. Brian told me that this guy holds up the heavens, or something like that, according to the ancient Greeks, I believe. Too bad it broke, because the statue was a real gem. The ends are attached using a small hook. Surely Agatha put it there to climb onto the roof. What if I decide I need to scamper up to the roof at some point? It's staying there. Agatha?
Hello, dear. Let's start from the very beginning. How long is it you've been dead now?
What? No, I'm alive. As far as I know.
Oh, well, isn't that a shame? You really could have helped me out here.
Well, sorry. Helped you what?
To find out whether the spirits in this cemetery are on my side or not. Reverend McCormick asked me to find out why the poltergeists infesting this graveyard are here. But first, I must know if they're on my side or not.
Tell me about that cable you slid down.
My parabiothermal cable? Well, it detects sudden changes in temperature caused by paranormal phenomena.
Ah, like in the movies, when a ghost is going to appear and everything starts to look cold?
More or less. But in movies, they never quite get these things right. The more subdued spirits, like the ones in this crypt, display their temper using temperatures. If they are displeased by a presence, they emit heat. But if they are happy, they give off cold.
How does that cable work?
Very well, dear. Its filaments are temperature sensitive. If there is a variation of more than 20 degrees Celsius in less than 5 seconds, they send a signal to the ectothermal scanning machine outside the crypt. By analyzing its readings, I am able to determine the temperament or mood of the spirit that caused the thermal change. Pretty simple, isn't it?
So why did you put it right here?
Because I need to know whether the spirits in the crypt who are in charge around here are happy with my presence. If they emit cold temperatures, I can make contact with any spirit in this cemetery. But if they give off heat, then I'd better clear out. And Reverend McCormick will just have to find another medium.
Fascinating, Agatha, but let me ask you something else. Is something weird going on in this cemetery?
Weird? Not at all. Well, the only strange thing is it seems like a UN summit with such an international set of spirits. Besides that, just the usual. Miscellaneous poltergeists and a hideous past tormenting the primordial energy here, which, by the way, is centered precisely inside this crypt.
What's so hideous about the past of this crypt?
A horrific, shameful, and hideous crime. During the Civil War, before this graveyard was here, This used to be a Yankee prison.
Wow, how interesting. Go on.
On the night of April 24th, 1864, a captain of the Confederacy, Noah Kilgore, was waiting to be executed. He had come to terms with death, but during a change of guards, his luck changed too. The lieutenant in charge of watching him was Philemon Kilgore, his own brother.
Two brothers fighting on opposite sides?
Civil war is always fratricidal, dear. Brother against brother. That's what it consists of. But anyway, Noah pleaded with his brother to let him go. And though Philemon didn't want to betray his army, his brotherly love won out, and he let his brother escape.
What's so horrific and shameful about that? Sounds like a nice story to me. Almost corny.
Don't jump the gun, dear. As soon as Philemon set him free, Noah whacked his brother over the head and left him unconscious. He exchanged clothes with Philemon and stuck him in the cell.
Of course. The brothers bore such a resemblance that nobody noticed the difference, right?
Yes, but Noah didn't want his brother to give up the big secret, so he set fire to his brother's cell. End of story.
The end? That awful murderer didn't get punished?
Well, eventually he died, of course. Several years later, after becoming a hero for the Yankees.
Hey, the real heroine of this story is me for staying awake. Can we talk about other stuff? Why do you say the cemetery seems like the UN?
Because there are spirits from many different countries. China, France, Germany, Spain, Brazil, Sweden, Egypt, Australia. And a few from right here, like you.
Agatha, I am not a ghost. I'm not even dead.
You're not? Well, have it your way.
So what do these poltergeists, which Reverend McCormick is so scared of, do?
Oh, lots of mischief. You know how these spirits can be. They drag chains, howl, lift their skirts when nuns come by, suddenly appear before visitors. They're such rascals.
Okay, this is getting pretty gross. Let's talk about something else. See you later, Agatha.
Whenever you want, dear.
That must weigh a ton. Good thing Brian's coffin is made of wood. Otherwise... According to Agatha, it detects sudden temperature changes, both hot and cold. There's a bit of everything. A backpack, a tape recorder, a Ouija board, a dried out lemon, a flashlight. I bet that flashlight could be useful. But Brian always says that when you find things like this, the batteries are always dead. Agatha, does that flashlight work?
I just changed the batteries yesterday. Take it if you like.
Well, that proves Brian's first law wrong. Wow, that is huge. It must be about a 20-foot drop to the bottom. It's hung in the air thanks to a set of sturdy steel cables. It's very thick because that angel is truly obese. According to Agatha, it detects sudden temperature changes, both hot and cold. Yikes! What a welcoming place. Huh? A tunnel. Wait a second. If I've got this right, then behind that wall is the hole they buried Brian in. Not that that improves things much, but at least now I know I have two options. Either move the slab of stone off the grave and start digging, at the risk that somebody might see me, or break through this wall. Doesn't look easy. But at least I'm not out in the wide open with nosy people walking by. Yeah, like Agatha said, this was a war prison. I can only imagine the things that ring has been used for. Yikes! Gina, you've already lived enough nightmares. Let's see what this says. Captain Noah W. Kilgore, 1823 to 1864. A Confederate soldier buried in New York. That's weird. I bet the ashes of the guy in the painting are inside. It gives me the creeps, but Brian is behind that wall. So if I don't take the urn, I might end up spilling its contents. Although, it would be worse if they poured out into my pocket. Didn't something like that traumatize a character on 6 Feet Under for years? He seems like a real VIP. Lieutenant Philemon J. Kilgore, 1823 to 1864. After Agatha's long-winded explanation with all those plot twists and unexpected deaths, I can't remember if this was the good brother or the bad one. If I'm not mistaken, it's a visitor's signature book. Thanks, but I don't collect autographs. I used to have one just like it, but in Eldorado gold. Looks like an electric light. Rex, enjoy your bones for all eternity. Tomb of the Unknown Kilgore. Melanie S. Kilgore. Granny, we will miss your gingerbread cookies so much. Derek J. Kilgore and the bizarre-speaking appendage Kilgore joined together even in death. It's kind of scary to walk under. If it falls off, goodbye Gina Timmons. Plastic plants. Well, I guess a living being might clash with the surrounding atmosphere. Graves, graves, and more graves. Huh, I hope I don't have to find anything among them. It would take me everlasting eternity. A few more graves, the brick wall, more graves. That glance contributed nothing to my knowledge. This is a sort of access road where the chapel and a bunch of small crypts are located. I've been here before when the hearse brought Brian in. A constant flow of water is trickling out. That can't be good considering the drought. I wouldn't be able to keep much in my hands. I think that's the same one they used to bring Brian's coffin from the psychiatric hospital. Let's see if it's open. A flat spare tire. What a driver. Nice calendar he's got here. An old blanket. Oh, and one of those straps they use to lower coffins into the grave. I'll just borrow that. Hey, this thing's keys are in the ignition. Something tells me it won't work. Okay, it worked, but enough is enough. Someone might show up. If things start to get ugly when I get Brian out, at least we have a way to escape now. Man, it's darker in here than when we came for Brian's pseudo-funeral. I guess Reverend McCormick turned out all the lights when he left. They lead to the main part of the chapel. Where I am now is a sort of entrance foyer. Logically, they're closed. The light coming in is lovely. It's turned off. Let's see. Great, here we go with the typical objects that don't work, that are broken, that need replacement parts. Brian says these are timeless laws of the universe. But one thing must remain clear. I know nothing about electricity, and I'm not fixing it. It's so dark in here, I can't read a word. Okay, let's see what it's about. Yikes, could it be any spookier? It's a list of names with the dates and places of birth and death and the location of the person's grave. Organ player seeks employment for burials, funerals, religious services for the deceased, and divorces. Entertainment for birthday parties, too. Large families have more fun. Yeah, especially poor old mom and dad who work tirelessly without a wink of sleep so they can feed their huge litter of offspring. What do you mean, mailbox? That's the place to leave alms for the poor if you've got some spare change. There's something behind this grating. If only I could get it open. Let's see if it works. Nope. Either it's broken or it's locked shut. I can't see it too well from here, but yes, I think it might be a box. Way too high. I wonder why that's there. Yeah, looks like there's something underneath. A trap door. What could be behind there? They better not keep their dog in there. Ah. Seems like it's made of plastic. That might be useful. Considering where I found it, it seems pretty clean. It's been concealed under that mat for ages, but times change. Let's see what happens if I climb on this. Why, yes! It was a wooden box. Think there's something inside? Hey, a key. I wonder what it's for. It was inside of the wooden box. Let's see if it fits this lock. That's the thing they use to rake in the dough from worshippers during Mass. Okay, once I rescue Brian, I'll bring it back here. Someone told me that in the olden days, these baskets didn't have such long handles, but they added them when it was discovered rich people always sit as far away from the aisle as possible. I'm positive it's used to ring the bell on the roof.
Yard is coming right up, Mr. Reverend, sir. Box is for the deceased in a jiffy. Don't you worry your holy old self for nothing.
Hurry up, little mama.
Well, looks like I managed to get that janitor girl to come. I hope Reverend McCormick doesn't show up at some point and ruin my plan. Yes, the Reverend might come back and think thieves have passed through. No, it's too dirty to put back in place. Hey, I am not that evil of a person. If I had no choice but to rob, then I'd do it from a millionaire. And if that millionaire is a mafia boss, then all the better. You never know. Well, in this case, the answer is no, I guess. Brian's text message said not to leave the cemetery, but I don't see what's wrong with approaching the front gate. Ernie? You're still here?
Gina Basco. How's it going, kid?
Great, fine. I mean, actually terrible. I'm distraught. Thanks for attending the funeral.
Oh, well, I was Basco's favorite orderly, and he was my favorite nut job. How could I miss his funeral? What's more, Happydale didn't send anyone to it. But of course, with everything that's going on down there, that place is like crazy. Hey, Gina, I got a joke for you. You ain't nothing but a mad dog.
Why did you say the psychiatric hospital is like crazy?
Haven't you heard, hon? Just 2 days ago, right when Brian keeled over, 2 inmates escaped, and Dr. Bennett disappeared. An office ceiling collapsed, and a nurse who just got hired decided to quit. And she was some major eye candy, that little lady. Ooh.
Could you tell me about everything that's happened lately at Happydale?
Why, sure. 2 inmates escaped, and Dr. Bennett disappeared. An office ceiling collapsed, and a nurse who just got hired decided to quit.
Bennett disappeared? The same Dr. Bennett that was treating Brian?
The very same. I don't know if he'd finished his report for the judge, determining whether Brian was crazy or not. But who cares at this point?
Which 2 inmates escaped?
That'll be Jacob Kurgan and Gabo Spiegelman. From what I've heard, all 3 tried to skip the nut house together, but Brian got the worst part.
Don't you think it's weird that so many unusual things happened in such a short time?
Nope. It's like that movie. Unfortunate events always seem to happen in a series.
Getting back to our last topic. Thanks for sticking around, but don't you worry about me. I'm fine. You can go ahead and leave.
Hey, it's no problem, babe. Plus, you're such a hottie. Worrying about you is a pleasure.
There's something I need to tell you about Brian.
Shoot, babe. I'm all ears.
Did you notice anything strange about him in his final days?
You know what, babe? I think Brian knew he had something coming. He was nervous-like. Couldn't stop pacing around, talking to one guy, then another. It's as if he had a sixth sense, telling him, "Get a move on, kid. Things are almost over with here." Wait, I almost forgot. Brian's the one with the bag. Looks good on him, huh?
Clearly he adapted to his new environment pretty well.
Yeah, well, we took this picture the day before Brian, just keep it. It's all yours.
How original. I didn't know people gave gifts at funerals, but thanks.
Nothing's too good for my favorite brunette, darling. If I hadn't fallen in love with Luann today, I'd have done even more.
Did you hear him talk about some place he would have liked to visit?
Not that I can remember now, no.
What do you know about Brian's attempted escape?
Nothing. Just what people were saying. That he tried to escape through the air ducts and that his head got chopped off by a big fan. Poor nut job.
Who else could tell me more about Brian's final days?
The guys who knew Brian best at Happydale were Dr. Bennett, who's now missing, and his fellow escapees, Jacob Kurgan and Gabo Spiegelman. You're going to have a hard time, babe.
One other thing. What did you really think about Brian?
Well, Ernie already told you. Brian was his favorite nut job. What do you mean?
Do you think Brian murdered Kordsmeyer?
Kordsmeyer was that military brass, right? Hey, I don't know, babe. Maybe he did and maybe he didn't. You never know with these nut jobs.
Do you really think Brian was insane?
Obviously, babe. Crazier than a cuckoo.
By the way, I guess nobody doubts Brian is dead. Like, totally dead, right?
Well, maybe I shouldn't tell you this, but there's rumors that when they found him, he was a bit... how should I put it?
Headless? I know, Ernie. I'm the one who identified his body.
Oh, babe, that's horrible. Then why are you asking this stuff? Who'd know better than you?
Brian is alive.
Babe, Brian will always be alive in our memories. But you need to turn the page and live your own life. Once I get over this Luann thing, I'll call you up and help you.
Maybe I just need to get used to not talking about Brian all day long.
It's normal, babe. He's always on your mind.
Don't call me Basco. My last name is Timmons.
So, you're ashamed of Basco. Of Brian. Wow. And he never stopped talking about how much he loved you and what a hottie you were. And he wasn't hallucinating either.
Brian and I aren't married. I'm not really sure what you'd call our relationship.
Well then, you're not a widow, and he's nothing more than a deceased friend.
I'm not ashamed of Brian. No matter how nerdy he can be, he's the kindest man I've ever met.
Well, considering the string of gems you've come across in the past. Brian told me all your exes were, not very recommendable bachelors.
I'd hate to have to give up my father's last name. I've already abused it so much as it is.
Well then, were you using your own name in that place where you used to dance? I thought you would have made up some kind of stage name, like Bubbles or Candy Cane.
How do you know about that? Damn Brian! He's gonna hear from me. He's gonna learn to keep his big fat mouth shut.
I don't mean to take sides, but I think Brian's already learned a thing or two about keeping quiet.
Just drop it. My last name is none of your business.
Okay, babe.
I need to go back to Brian's grave a while. You understand.
Don't let it get to you, babe. Whatever doesn't kill you just makes you smell better.
Someone swept things up, but while they were at it, couldn't they have thrown these piles of leaves away? No way. It must be full of dirt and dead insects. I wouldn't even do it with a rubber glove. If I'd seen a guy like Ernie on a bike like that just a few years ago, whew, good thing I've matured recently. He's wearing glasses, but he isn't blind. Hello?
Wait. You're the gal from that crazy guy's funeral. Is that where I saw you before?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, but don't come crying to Luann. I'm busier than a bee in a beehive. Gotta run. See ya.
Wow, you are so insensitive.
Oh, all right, sorry. My sincerest condolences and all that. Thing about this job is that you just get sick of all them weepy widows always crying at you. Anything else?
What's got you so busy, Luann?
Well, this here, can't you see? I've got to get these coffins together before the Tombs for Everyone charity benefit. But the instruction manual's in gibberish and I can't understand a word. But if anyone can get this done, I can.
I've never heard of do-it-yourself coffins before.
Me neither. But the old Reverend bought these unassembled on the internet and I've just got to deal with it. They're cheaper than pig's milk, but they're good enough for your final rest.
Well, I could think of a case or two in which that might just come in handy. What exactly does Tombs for Everyone consist of?
Well, it's this thing where if you're poor and you kick the bucket, everything's on the house. We pay for the coffin, the hole, the wreath, the stone slab. As the old Reverend says, we won't die for you, but almost.
What's up with the manual?
Well, it's in Swedish, and not even a schoolmaster can understand it. It's like Chinese, but worse, because you can find a Chinaman anywhere, but who in tarnation knows where to find a Swede?
Would you let me see the assembly manual? I don't know, maybe I could help.
Besides being a rich city slicker, you figure you're some sort of engineer, huh? Well, take it.
Doesn't look easy, but we'll have to try.
You thought I'd just have one manual and wouldn't let you borrow it, huh? Well, Luann's accepting help today, so if you can understand any of that gibberish...
Why are you in such a hurry?
'Cause I met this manly stud and he's waiting for me to get off work. His name's Ernie, and he is the finest gentleman I've ever come across.
I think I know that Ernie guy.
If you try to steal my man, I'll slap you silly. Ernie's mine, you got that? Man, for once I reel in a hot catch and a city broad tries to steal him away from me.
So he's waiting for you? Are you guys going on a date somewhere?
He's taking me bowling. Ain't as serious as going to the Sunday ball, but since they don't have them around here...
You like the guy that much?
Better than a new hoe. Man, I'm even thinking of giving up my sacred chrysanthemum to him.
Oh my, how did you meet?
I was hacking away at the hedges. He came over and said some pretty things like that any sane man would fall in love with me. That he couldn't avoid falling for little old me, for me not to stop loving him and stuff like that, about love and the like.
Let's stop gossiping about Ernie.
You stop gossiping. I got dibs on him and he's mine.
What's behind that big door?
My tools. But get close to them and I'll punch your lights out. They're mine, got that? Dang, it's getting colder and colder in here.
Just out of curiosity, what kind of tools do you have?
Man, I got more than the little furry balls on an old sweater. They're mostly garden tools, but I also got the circular saw and the hole-making thing and the one that puts staples and the circular saw and...
You already said that.
What, the circular saw? That's 'cause I like it more than the field without cow pies. It cuts through metal things like a hot knife through butter.
What if I asked you for one tool and promised to return it right away?
What if I smacked you once, but then smacked you again 2 seconds later?
Okay, already, forget it. Talk to you later. I don't want to make you late.
So what do you think you've been doing up to now? This city slicker's not too swift.
It's closed. No, Luann says she'll smack me if I do. How weird. It's on, but it's empty.
Well, of course. Who would be such a numbskull as to put something in there?
Why's that?
Because it's always on the fritz, and no sooner do you stick something in it than it goes pow, and it deep freezes everything to the core, so careful. Man, I don't know why I'm even warning her.
What for? The door is made of glass and there's nothing inside. It's not very powerful, but since the weather's pretty nice today, who cares? Hammer, pliers, file, scissors, a bit of everything. I could take them all, but this thin one here seems most familiar to me.
Uh-uh.
Who could understand this? It's all in Swedish. These are the most luxurious digs in this bone pile. Could you translate this manual for me? It's in Swedish.
Is Swedish a dead language?
I don't think so.
Then I can't help you, dear. Though, if you find the grave of a Swede here in the graveyard, I can ask him or her to translate it for you. But wait. First, let me think. First, I should make certain that the primordial energy in the graveyard is benign. In other words, I have to wait for the spirits infesting this crypt to express their presence by giving off the usual phantom chill.
It's filled with ashes. Human ashes, no less. I don't know if they'll fit, but ready. Okay, Gina, you spilled more outside the box than you poured in. But I don't think the party concerned will notice. You haven't been sleeping well, you're exhausted and nervous, and do you know how hard it is to pour ashes without expert help? Empty, but clean enough to eat off of. Well, if you don't mind some human ash as a spice. Yes, the water won't come out of this. Well, there are still some ashes stuck to the bottom, but oh well. It's made of plastic or latex or some other stretchy material. I'm not sure if this water transfer will do any good, but I'll try. Ready. The water inside is lukewarm. Okay, why the heck not? Let's see how long it takes to freeze.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Pow! It's already frozen.
No, I need something to help me keep it frozen once I've taken it out.
What's this?
That's it. I can use the urn as a thermos so that the ice doesn't melt or freeze my pocket.
Shoot!
I hope my hand doesn't go cryogenic. Luann was right. It's frozen solid.
I'm catching cold.
It's covered in thick plastic, except at the end. That sounds good. The end of the cable has no plastic coating, so it'll be much more sensitive to the cold than the rest. So let's see.
A thermal manifestation! Oh, my spirits. What lovely creatures.
Hey, it worked! I feel bad about tricking Agatha, but I guess I've done worse things in my time. And with a lot less payoff than now. What about Agatha? Oh, there she is. Hey, Agatha, what are you doing here?
Congratulate me, dear. They gave me permission.
Congratulations. Who gave you permission and what for?
Didn't you hear the ectothermal machine beeping? The spirits of the Kilgore brothers, the primordial energy force in this graveyard, have authorized me to proceed with my research on their turf.
Oh, wow, how cool.
So you need not fear anything any longer, dear. Just answer me honestly. Why is your tormented spirit still wandering through this world?
Because I'm not dead yet?
Come on, are you sure?
I'd bet my life on it. But there are other things I'm not so sure about.
Oh, you have questions? Tell me. I'm your medium.
Heard any more voices from beyond the grave?
What are you talking about, dear? Oh, no. Ever since I left that crypt, not a peep, not a wailing sob, not a boo, not a thing.
What are you doing out here?
Nothing, dear. I'm verifying the tests performed by the ectothermal scanning machine to check the sudden parabiothermal coldness detected in the Kilgore crypt.
What did you need to translate the manual into Swedish?
If you find the grave of a Swede here in the graveyard, I can ask him or her to translate it for you.
See you around, Agatha.
Goodbye, dear.
It's a list of names with the dates and places of birth and death and the location of the person's grave. Huh? If a person is in this directory, that means they're dead, doesn't it? However, Eureka. Ingerman Holgren, born in Norrköping, Sweden, and his grave is in Sector D, Path 2, aisle... Here it is! But the truth is, I don't know why I'm so incredibly happy. I mean, I just found a dead guy, and considering where I am, that's not exactly an amazing feat. According to the directory in the chapel, Ingerman was of Swedish nationality. Now that the spirits in charge around here are your friends, think you could help me with that Swedish manual?
Oh dear, it completely slipped my mind. Now where was that poor man?
Ingerman Holgren. Here he is.
Now, my dear, you just wait for me over there.
But...
I need some peace now to get my capacity for understanding to rise to the world of the spirits. Ingerman, I invoke you. Ingerman, come and show yourself. Oh. Montarinstructione. Let's see what this book says. Instructions for the assembly.
Agatha, what you just did is absolutely amazing.
Oh, my dear, you've no idea.
Really, thanks to you, I have just what I needed. The fully translated Flichting Coffin Assembly Manual. From what Agatha translated, these coffins have electrical wires, sockets, and other slick modern gadgets in them. Seeing is believing. What would you say if I told you that I had translated the coffin assembly manual?
That if you're lying, I'll smack you upside the head. Oh, my sweet lordy. Wow. Yes, this'll be a cinch. Now, in 5 minutes, I can do this body box. Then I'll get gussied up and it's off to the bowling alley with Ernie. So, will you show the coffin to the Reverend and close up the workshop for me?
Okay, fine. You run along. Don't worry.
So, it turns out you're a real nice person after all. Move out, Ernie.
I'll be seeing you later, hot duck.
At last, I'm alone. It's still in Swedish. I don't need to assemble any more coffins. What I need is to get Brian out of his. Finally. There's Luann's famous circular saw. It's heavy, but I'm sure I will be needing it. Nothing worthwhile around here. Nah, why look? I already know what's in there. Diverx. Nobody's been working all afternoon long. No wonder this country's infrastructure is going down the tubes. Yeah, these things can rust really fast. Let's see. The shovel. No, kind of creepy in a cemetery. And those metal thingies? No. Cement. What's that? Oh, I know. I'll take one of these adjustable tubular items you can use to prop things up. That might be useful. The ends are attached using a small hook. I don't know if I can, but I'll try. Ah, yikes! The strap is on so tight that there's no way to get it off. It's kind of like a car jack, but longer. Good idea. And when the strap gets a little bit less tight, I'll finally be able to take it off. Looky there, now I have two. Supposedly, Noah murdered his brother Philemon and committed identity theft on him. But of course, that means the one buried here isn't Noah, it's the other one. Yes, that's the thing to do. Darn, someone could have put a hole, tunnel, lever, or something else that might make it easier for me to reach Brian. I have no other choice but to remove one of these blocks of stone. But which? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I think it'll be best to choose that one in the middle with the ring. It'll be easier to remove than the ones on the side. Yeah, like Agatha said, this was a war prison. I can only imagine the things that ring has been used for. Yikes! Gina, you've already lived enough nightmares. It's quite a nice file. Family-sized. I wonder where they took that picture. I went to Brian's psych ward several times, and I don't remember that poster. File the block? Of course. I can file away the mortar between the other blocks, and then it'll be easier to move. File that mortar down, let's get to it.
Wasabi. No, the broad's still inside, and I'm starting to get knackered. We're on it. Yo, Fatzilla, bad news, dude. Seems we can't go in. We have to wait for her here, then follow her. You have such a way with words.
Well, that wasn't easy, but I managed to file all of the mortar away. It's a good thing that I filed the mortar off the edges, but it's still too big for me to move by myself. Okay, so I got rid of the mortar, but I wonder if I can drag away the stone with the strap. Ready. I'm not sure whether tying it there did me any good, but I guess it couldn't hurt either. It seems like a good way to remove the stone block, but I'm not strong enough. I'm positive I headed in the right direction with these straps, but there must be something missing. It's holding up the front part of the angel. Completely useless, I'm afraid. Good idea. Though besides that, I think I've come up with another one of my brilliant ideas. I know it seems a bit strange, but, well, it might work. That won't work. Yeah. It's such a silly idea that it might even work. But I don't know what I could attach them together with. What am I saying? What about the ribbon from the funeral wreath? Come on, let's get down to work. That turned out even better than I expected. Let's see how well it holds. I hope Brian doesn't see it, because I always make fun of him when he does this MacGyver-esque stuff. It may be incredibly high-tech, but I managed to trick it without even smudging my makeup. Oh my god, what a mess I've made. Yes, the stone moved. Although, when Reverend McCormick comes back, I know one parapsychologist who's gonna have a lot of explaining to do. Poor old woman. Oh well. When I cut the cable, the angel fell back. When it fell back, it hit the stairs. When it hit the stairs, the hands fell off. And when the hands fell off, they broke the vase. Conclusion, you'd have to be pretty twisted to place the blame on me. I'm not proud of what I've done to the poor thing, but forced to choose between Brian and a stone statue. It weighs a ton, but luckily the angel is even heavier and was able to drag it along. They're the same kind of bricks lining Brian's grave. No, I'd probably end up wrecking my hands instead of the wall. That pole must have fallen off after what happened with the angel. I'll put it back in place so I don't trip. I'd rather keep it. It's so heavy that I hope I end up using it for something. Great idea. Bring it on, Gina. Brian, if you can hear me, stay away from the wall. Hi-ya! Brian! Brian?
What, you don't know where he is?
Who are you?
The guy who sent you the text message. Banana!
Wait a minute. You're Gabbo, Brian's friend from the psychiatric hospital. What are you doing in here?
Sleeping. I didn't intend to stay in the box. I got in before the burial. I was gonna try to meet you afterwards. To find out where Basco is, but it turns out you don't know either. Improvise, Spiegelman!
Did you fall asleep inside the grave?
Narcolepsy. Let's go.
Where to?
Out. To find the only guy who can help Basco.
Weren't there some thugs by the exit?
I'll kill one guy, you take the other. How's that?
Are you nuts?
Okay. Let's try to Steve McQueen. I'll need a couple of cars.
Ah, there she is, the little cow. That wait was so boring, man. What the... Banana!
Hurry up, get in!
Okay, she got away. No, we'll find her. The little slapper's dead, I swear.